Hello everyone, welcome to Chem Analysis. In my previous video of the series epoxidation and epoxide ring opening, I have discussed about formation of epoxide from a olefin, its mechanism, and epoxide ring opening in presence of acid and basic condition. If you have not watched that video, then please go to the description box. I have attached the link there. In this discussion, I will mainly talk about stereoselectivity of epoxide ring opening for cyclohexane system containing substituent at other carbon atom instead of the epoxide ring, and ring opening in case of decalin system, and many other interesting questions. So watch this video carefully and till the end. So let's start this topic. In my previous video of epoxidation and epoxide ring opening, I have discussed about the ring opening of such epoxide by nucleophile in presence of acidic condition as well as basic condition. Now if we consider a very simpler epoxide like this epoxide, and we treat it with a nucleophile in any condition, we can say that the nucleophile can attack here and open up this epoxide in this orientation, and in other way epoxide nucleophile can attack here and open up this epoxide in this way. That is, there is no selectivity that in which carbon the nucleophile will attack. Now if we consider a epoxide containing one substituent within this nucleus, like here, that means I want to say that if you are given any cyclohexane epoxide containing one R group within the ring, now if you are given any nucleophile, then the question is there is two attacking side, that is it can attack from this position to open this epoxide ring, or from this position to open this epoxide ring in this orientation. Now the question is which attack will be favorable. We can draw this structure in this fashion. Since R group is below the plane, it is below the plane, and the epoxide ring is 1, 2, 3 position of this R group, that is 1, 2, 3. Here epoxide ring is drawn and it is above the plane. Now the nucleophile can attack at this carbon atom or at this carbon atom to open the epoxide ring. Now if the nucleophile attacks at this carbon atom and open the epoxide ring, then the structure of the final compound will be look like this. Since the R group is, if it is written as 1 carbon, then the epoxide oxygen will be at 1, 2, 3 carbon atom, 1, 2 and 3, and since the attack should be trans diaxial, that is O minus and nucleophile should be trans oriented to each other. As we can see in this chair form, the O minus and nucleophile is trans to each other, and this attack goes through a chair-like transition state. That is, we can draw the transition state that when the nucleophile attacks here, then the epoxide ring will open like this, and here will be nucleophile. It is the R group. So it will be the final product and it will go through chair-like transition state. Now on the other hand, if the nucleophile attacks at this carbon atom and the epoxide ring opens up in this fashion, next if we draw similar chair-like transition state, then we can see that is here R group should be below the plane, and if the nucleophile attacks at this carbon atom, that is 1, 2, 3, then here nucleophile, and the after epoxide ring opening the oxygen minus will be also not axial. As I previously told that the attack should be trans diaxial. The ring opening will be trans diaxial. So this attack cannot proceed through chair-like transition state. This attack can proceed through such twist boat-like transition state, where we can see that the nucleophile and the oxide minus is trans-oriented. That is, it will attack here and O minus will open up in this orientation, and here if we write it 1 carbon, that 1 carbon R is equatorial and below the plane, and 2 3 at 3 carbon nucleophile is axial, and at the 4 carbon O minus is also axial. That is, the opening is trans diaxial. It is favorable in this case. Now we know that the transition state corresponding to chair like transition state is more stable than twist boat transition state. So this attack will be more favorable than this attack. So this product will be observed as a major product for the ring opening of epoxide for such structure. Is it okay? We can find out the structure of the major compound for ring opening of such epoxide in a very simpler way, without going to such confusion that this product will be formed or product corresponding to this attack. We can solve it in simpler way. That is, if we draw this compound in chair form, since the ring opening of such epoxide will go through chair form, since that chair form is more stable than the other twist boat or boat transition state. So we can simply draw this epoxide in chair form and see that which attack is trans diaxial. Now since it is below the plane, we are drawing here this R group, and the epoxide is from 1 to 3 position 1 to 3, and it will be above the plane. Now if we introduce any nucleophile, then we can see that if the nucleophile attacks here, then the ring opening will be trans diaxial. But if the nucleophile attacks here, then the ring opening will not be trans diaxial, since nucleophile will be equatorial and O minus will also be equatorial. So the favorable attack is at this position, that will give the trans di-oriented product. Is it okay? You just draw in chair form and just see that which attack is trans diaxial, and the product corresponding to trans diaxial ring opening will be the major product. We will solve some other examples of epoxide ring opening in this chapter. Let's see. Suppose you are given such epoxide like this or this, and you have to treat it with lithium aluminum hydride. That is, the hydride minus from this reducing agent will attack at any of this carbon atom to open up this epoxide ring. Now we can simply draw it in chair form. The tertiary butyl group is below the plane. We are writing this butyl group here. So in the third position will be epoxide, and that will be above the plane. So here hydride minus will attack from this reducing agent, and it will attack at this orientation, since it will give the trans di-oriented product. It is very simple to go through the chair-like transition state. First draw the chair-like conformation of the given compound, then just see which attack is favorable and which is not. So it will give this product, and if here in the worker process, if you are given water, then it will be protonated, water or H3O plus, then it will be protonated and it will give the product as like this. If we draw in this planar form, then tertiary butyl group is below the plane, and 1 2 3 at 3 position OH group will be above the plane. Now in the second case, the tertiary butyl group is above the plane, and we cannot draw it like axial since it will be less stable. We can take it as equatorial, and the epoxide will be above the plane, so we can draw the epoxide here. It will be the most stable conformation. There will be another possibility that tertiary butyl group will be axial since it is above the plane, and epoxide will be here, but that structure will be unstable. If tertiary butyl group is here and epoxide is 1 2 here, the structure is also possible, but it is unstable and energetically unfavorable, so it will undergo ring flipping to give this epoxide, which will be more stable, and hydride will attack at this epoxide, and the trans diaxial attack will be favorable if it attacks here and epoxide ring opens in this orientation. Hydride will be here, and it will be finally O minus, and it will abstract a proton to convert it to OH. And if we draw it in planar form, since tertiary butyl group is above the plane, and 1 2 3 4 at 4 position OH group is also above the plane, so the product will be like this for this case, and for this case the product will be like this. Now if we consider decalin system, in case of trans decalin, you have to form first epoxide. Now if you treat this compound with a base, it will abstract this OH proton and it will make it O minus. That O minus will attack from above the plane to eliminate the Br minus. Since the orientation in this case for epoxide ring formation, for such cases will also require the trans diaxial orientation of the two group, that is leaving group and the attacking nucleophile, that is O minus and Br should be in trans diaxial. Now if we treat it with sodium hydroxide, then the ring opening will occur from this position, since it will give the trans diaxial oriented product. If it attacks at this carbon atom, that orientation will give the di equatorial product, so that attack will not be favorable, and it will give only this attack as a major one. So the here will be OH and here will be OH. Here is hydrogen, here is hydrogen. So in case of trans decalin, it is trans decalin, it will observe as a major product. In some cases, in some textbook, you will get that this attack will also give some product, diequatorial product, which will be very less. And in this case, since this hydrogen are anti and this structure is locked, ring flipping for this epoxide is not possible. But in case of cis decalin system, these two hydrogens are on the same side, so it is cis-decalin. First epoxide will form from above the plane, and since cis-decalin is flexible in geometry, so it will flip to the other conformer. Now in this case, if we treat it with a base, the base will attack at this carbon atom in transdiaxial orientation to open this epoxide ring to give the final product, to give this as a final product. On the other way, after ring flipping, it is delivering this product, and it can also open up by sodium hydroxide by attack at this position to give now the thing is, in this case these two are enantiomer to each other. If you see carefully, you can see that this structure 1 and this 2 is enantiomer to each other. Now this compound can be formed by ring opening from this compound, and this structure can be obtained from the ring opening of this structure. Since these two are interconvertible to each other, so in the system there will be racemic mixture of these two isomer, since this can be formed in 50-50% proportion, as this ring flipping is favorable. So the system will be racemic mixture of these two enantiomer. Is it clear? Okay. I want to mention here one thing, that please don't get confused to this bond. It is C dotted Br bond. That means it is below the plane, and this OH is above the plane. It is not drawn clearly, so don't get confused. Next, go to the last solution of today's discussion. If you are given such epoxide and you have to treat it with azide ion. Now we can draw it in chair form. Since pH is below the plane, we are taking pH here and it is equatorial. After that NH and epoxide is above the plane at the 3 carbon from the nitrogen. So it is drawn like this, and it is the most stable structure. There will be another structure possible for this compound where the phenyl group will be axial. Try to draw the structure by yourself. In the structure you will see that due to larger size of the phenyl group, it cannot stay at the axial position and it will be energetically unfavorable. So the most stable structure is this, and azide will attack to open up this epoxide ring in this structure. So the transdiaxial orientation is favorable if the azide attacks here, and the final product will be look like this. N3 minus will be axial and O minus will be axial, and if we draw it in planar form, phenyl is below the plane, and from the phenyl it is at 3 carbon, oxygen will be above the plane, O minus. It can abstract a proton if a proton source is given, and it will become OH, and the N3 minus will be below the plane. The orientation of N3 and OH will be anti to each other. Now in this case, if we draw the most stable structure, you will get like this. Here phenyl will be below the plane, and the epoxide is also below the plane, and at the 3 carbon from the nitrogen, 1 2 3 carbon, and in this orientation nitrite azide will attack at this carbon to give the desired ring open product. If we draw it in planar form, since phenyl is below the plane and azide is above the plane at 1 to 3 carbon, 1 to 3 carbon, and if it abstracts a proton, then it will become OH and it is below the plane. Here N3 and OH is also transdiaxial to each other. So is it okay? So that's all for this discussion. In the next discussion, I will solve some interesting questions on this topic from previous year CSIR NET. If you like this lecture, then please share it and please subscribe to my channel, because it will help us to make such interesting video in future and it will motivate us. So please subscribe to my channel and thank you.